Question: a composite insurer operates across life and general insurance lines. Recent experience shows rising claims inflation, increased lapse rates, operational strain from rapid digitalization, and stable reported capital metrics. The board believes current controls are sufficient. Advise the board using the actuarial control cycle, integrating risk classification, model risk, capital management, governance, and the external environment. 25 marks. Section 1. Interpretation and key points. Quick awareness check. The stability illusion, reporting stable capital in a volatile market, often indicates model risk. The model is not sensitive enough to real-world changes. Composite risk interaction. Inflation hits both sides, increasing claims costs in general insurance (GI) and increasing renewal expenses in life. Operational risk. Digitalization isn't just an upgrade, it's a source of systemic, operational, and cyber risk. The cycle. Use the problem specification phase to challenge the board's static view of the external environment. Section 2. Logic breakdown. 1. Problem specification, external environment. The pestle landscape, political, economic, social, technological, legal, environmental, has shifted. High inflation and changing customer behavior, lapses, mean the problem the insurer is currently solving is different from the one it was originally designed for. 2. Risk classification categorize the threats. Claims inflation, insurance risk, lapse rates, behavioral/life risk, and digitalization strain, operational risk. Crucially, explain how they are correlated. For example, economic stress causes both inflation and lapses. 3. Model risk. Address the stable capital metrics. If the internal model relies on historical data where inflation was low, it will understate the solvency capital requirement, SCR. Stable metrics in a crisis are a red flag. 4. Governance and the 3 lines of defense. The board's overconfidence suggests a failure in the second line of defense, risk/actuarial, to provide a robust challenge. Governance must shift from compliance-based to risk-based. 5. Capital management. Compare reported capital, Pillar 1, with economic capital, Pillar 2. The ORSA, Own Risk and Solvency Assessment, should be the primary tool to show the board how their capital would evaporate under a combined stress scenario. 6. The monitoring loop. Emphasize that monitoring is only effective if it triggers a change in strategy. This is the feedback part of the actuarial control cycle. Section 3. High distinction model answer. The board's reliance on stable capital metrics as evidence of control sufficiency is potentially misplaced, as these figures often represent a lagging view of a rapidly deteriorating external environment. Under the actuarial control cycle, the current situation necessitates an urgent respecification of the problem. The confluence of rising claims inflation and increased lapse rates suggests that the firm's underlying risk profile has shifted. Inflation erodes technical margins in general insurance while increasing the expense base in life operations, while higher lapses introduce anti-selection and liquidity strain that current pricing models may not yet reflect. In developing the solution, the board must address the significant model risk inherent in their current reporting. Stable capital metrics in a period of high volatility often signal model rigidity, where assumptions regarding risk independence are no longer valid. In reality, tail dependency is likely increasing. For example, a technological failure during rapid digitalization could disrupt claims processing during a peak inflation period, creating a compound operational risk. The board must recognize that diversification benefits between life and GI lines often evaporate during systemic shocks, meaning their current capital surplus may be an illusion. From a governance perspective, the 3 lines of defense must be reactivated to provide robust challenge. The second line, risk, has a professional responsibility to present the board with forward-looking scenario analysis, specifically within the ORSA, that test the simultaneous impact of inflation, mass lapses, and cyber outages. This holistic view of capital management ensures that the firm remains within its risk appetite and prioritizes value over volume during periods of operational strain. Finally, the monitoring phase of the control cycle must be enhanced to close the feedback loop more effectively. The firm should implement leading indicators for lapse behavior and operational system health, rather than waiting for quarterly financial reports to reveal deterioration. Professional judgment dictates that when the external environment moves beyond the domain of historical models, the board must shift from a compliance-driven mindset to one of active risk management. Failure to do so converts a manageable set of external pressures into a terminal solvency failure.